everybody, this is Christina Wallace again and welcome back to my channel. It's nice to see you all again. Now this is going to be a demo as opposed to a tutorial, and so as with most of my cake demos, it's going to be not so much talking and mostly showing and hoping that you will get inspired and pick up some tips for your own experiments with cake painting. So as you could see here, I have some bits of the actual cake sponge peeking through, so this is part of the reason why I chose this particular design, and also I thought it was going to be nice and easy, one of the easiest possible designs to do on a cake. So I figured that since I've not ever tried to do any kind of painting on buttercream, this would be a good one to start with, a good design. To create distance effect, I sometimes load my brush a lot less and kind of have a washout background, and then I try to load it more with a drier paint and give it a nice bright foreground, further accentuating the color with really bright heavy color. Because it's buttercream, it adds a very interesting effect here where the brush actually digs into the buttercream a little bit, and I really like this effect for this particular pattern. Here I've covered my cake with American buttercream. It's the buttercream recipe I always use. You should just see it on the screen, and the reason why I like it is because it tastes really gorgeous. The recipe is very simple and minimalistic. It's very hard to get it wrong. Also, as with any American buttercream, it crusts, and that is perfect for painting cakes, because I really don't think it would have worked with Swiss meringue, as that one doesn't crust. Although if anyone managed to do that successfully or unsuccessfully, drop us a line in the comments. That would be interesting to hear about it, really. This is a reasonably thin, semi-dry brush, and it's surprisingly easy to draw patterns like this on a cake. Beware, however, if you make a mistake, you can't really do all that much about it. I will show you some tips and some little tricks with this cover that I've discovered while making this cake, but bear that in mind. It's good to be prepared. With this one I wasn't prepared because I only had about half an hour, 40 minutes to paint the whole cake, and I'm quite slow, so it wasn't really a good idea to go anywhere away from nice safe lavender. But I was really curious to try and find some other way to express myself on this cake, seeing that Beatrice, for whom this cake was intended, she's French, and so I wanted to really go impressionist and try different things, and so I had to rescue this poppy. It doesn't look like a poppy, I know, but I had to rescue this poppy with some improvisation at the end. So keep watching. It's very bold, very red. I did grow to like it. At this point, as I'm doing it, I absolutely hate it, just for the record. So I decided not to try to save any more time and just dug out some pictures online, which kind of helped me a little bit to give a bit of shape and a character to this flower. And I'm finding that as soon as I've determined the shape, the actual how to do it is very similar to painting on fondant. So do not be put off thinking that it would be a lot harder to paint on this. No, it isn't, and there are little saves and little cheats as well. I'll show you in a bit, but I can't think of how it would be possible to draw on buttercream other than freehand, simply because corrections for the large part is a no-no, as you'll be able to see a little bit later, as I mentioned. Here I was feeling that my poppy, the red poppy, was just really sharp and kind of upfront pattern on a nice and empty cake. So I'm trying to add a bit of a background, and I'm going to try very pathetically to copy that lovely watery poppy, the very undefined shape right in the back. You can see it on the screen. And it didn't work very well at all, but it did give it a little bit of a poppy-like shapes somewhere out there. That's the beauty of watercolor, and I am excited to be reunited with the whole watercolory kind of effect after briefly trying to paint on ganache and all the rest of it. Not that I wouldn't be back with it, I would be, but I still love this watercolor effect. I'm oddly found this particular effect on a cake. I think it's my favorite bit of a cake. Anyway, I'm going to show you something. So this flower I'm washing off and softening up. It's been drying for about 10 minutes, and this is what I've done to this cake while my camera was switched off, unfortunately. I thought it was getting a bit too sharp and too separated from the cake. So what I did was by then it was already drying for about 10 minutes, and then I washed it off just with my solution. I would dip the brush into the solution and then wash over it. And here, just quite a wet brush. I have nothing to risk, nothing to lose here, and I'm just adding a bit of washed out little lines. So really, you can actually paint the whole cake like this, just in different watercolory ways, and that also looks really good. You don't have to go all dramatic like me here. I mean, some people might absolutely hate it, but anyway. And these are the final kind of, I just want to show you what's going on actually when I change techniques and all the rest of it. So yeah, on buttercream, your paint is going to run really badly. It's not the same as with fondant, where you can fix it. Here, the only way to fix it is just like this, just by removing a little bit of buttercream. So yeah, on fondant it doesn't run quickly and it's easy to fix. You do not have those two beautiful little things with buttercream, so less mistakes. And this is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I love doing this cake. I'm actually very happy with it, though it's messy, and I'll see you all next week.